right, my friends. As you can see on our captions, Sharong is talking about coffee mugs. And while we're on that subject, Sharong, I'd like to know what Antel Kuri is drinking in the current safe house in London.
Oh, okay. Antal spent a lot of time in England, right, when he went to university, but he favors really like strong Arabic coffee, like traditional old school like Turkish style or something like that. I don't know a lot about coffee actually, so as much as I do know, a very strong Arabic coffee.
Well, appreciate that in character moment. Hi, everyone. My name is Grant Ellis, and I am the director. That is a term of art from the game system. I'm the director here for Night's Black Agents, which is a investigative vampire spy thriller role playing game by Pelgrane Press. Pelgrane is sponsoring this show here on WebDM's Twitch channel, and I'm playing with some of my favorite human beings in the entire world, and they're the best people. For those that are joining us now in the story, these players collectively are agents. They are agents in a war against the shadow of a vast vampire conspiracy that is finding its way throughout the entire world. Last episode, they journeyed through Morocco, and they learned from an American journalist that an agent in London had come into possession of a very, very interesting document, the Dracula Dossier. The players received the dossier when a man named Harker was shot and fell to his death from a church tower. Our players snatched the dossier and fled from the scene of the crime with a secret organization pursuing them. Now, before we get into today's game, why don't we go around and introduce each other and who we're playing? Let's go ahead and start with the great, indefatigable Pro Restarter.
I am Pro. Thank you for that intro. Super glad to be back. Looking forward to take on the role of Daquan. I am Pro Restarter, as was said, and I play the muscle, gunhead, bikehead, stunt driver agent.
Nice.
AKA the hot one. Psych, we're all the hot one.
But which one of us?
I object, but anyway.
we all are. All right, and also joining us today, good friend, the dynamite and spicy manticore of the internet, Burst of Hope, Jess. Jess, how are you?
I'm significantly better now that we're live and I'm with these faces. I appreciate your existences. Today, Jisu's in trouble. Yeah, I play Jisu, and she is the infiltrator, the cyber hacker, the big nerd that can smooth talk her way out of a situation.
And interesting to note, you may see Jisoo showing up in certain social media posts by a publisher who happens to produce content for the game Night's Black Agents for the kill squad that arrived on the scene, may have taken a photograph of this character.
Ooh.
Dun dun dun.
Debatable.
Also joining us, cooler than cool, hotter than hot, Sharang Biswas. Hi, Sharang. How are you?
I am well. I just made a slow cooked bacon lunch, so it was amazing. And yeah, I am. Oh, before I introduce myself, I want to say, that document that Grant was just talking about that we found? It is actually out of game artifact. The Dracula Dossier is a entire annotated, expanded version of Bram Stoker's Dracula novel that you as players and DM can actually read and hunt for clues. So there it is, right? And it's enormous.
So
it's huge. It's huge. And it's also optional, so you don't have to engage with it unless you want to. And so we've been going through it slowly, and it's been super fun. So, recommendation. But I'm Sharang Biswas. and I am playing Antal Huri, who is the more, if Jisoo is the more electronic infiltrator, Antal Huri is the more like meat space infiltrator. He's very good at disguises. He's very good at ripping phones off of walls and strangling people with it. I brought a set of disguises which you may see me change into on stream, maybe if you're lucky and ask nicely and tell me I'm pretty. I'm really excited.
Yeah, speaking of that book, I'll bring a copy up on stream just so you can see what our players have been working on in preparation for the session. So I'm going to switch to picture, right out of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Picture, go ahead and show us a copy of the book. So I switched screens, and you can see this was given to my players, a copy, first edition unredacted copy of Dracula, and they have been reading the novel. And you notice over the novel there are these mini clues and annotations, and these clues have been creating adventure hooks for my players. And the interesting thing about that is we have a Discord server for myself and the players. And while we go through that, we are getting adventure hooks and creating the session that we're going to play. So Antal Kuri had been piecing together clues, and Jisoo had been putting forth clues. Now, what I'd like to do to start this session is I'd actually like to start and take a moment to get into character. I'd like us to go around in a circle, and we're going to do Antal, Jisoo, then Daequan, and I'm going to give you kind of like a monologue prompt. And these are your character's thoughts, and your prompt is the first night with the document. You are lying low in your safe house. There are sirens abounding. You are hearing news reports of a terrorist attack on the Church of St. Mary the Virgin. There were explosions and there were lives lost. This is a national incident. So why don't we go around and take a moment to give a monologue in character, and now this is actually going to be mechanized. This is the method by which your characters are refreshing all their pools for the session. All their investigative abilities, all of your general abilities, just whoop, everything will reset and go back after you give this monologue. So, let's start with Antal.
So Antal, who remember some of the documents are blood-stained, right? Because we grabbed them from the dead body. So Antal has been Antal is very silent. He doesn't talk and stuff a lot. Antal's been spending most of the time in this safe house, either studying these documents very, very intensely. He's been like pinning stuff up a lot because it takes him back to when he was in ages. Like the thrill of this is enormous because he's done some small things, but he's never done such an investigative thing recently. So he's really excited. He's been spending his days either doing that or actually exercising, because Antal is very physically involved. So unlike Sharang, who hasn't exercised in a week and a half, Antal has been exercise, wakes up early, exercises, brews himself some Arabic coffee, and then just goes straight to it. He doesn't talk a lot to the others. He's just doing this a lot.
All right, excellent. And as you finish that, you'll wake up the next morning and all of your pools have been refreshed. You have, worked all of the anxiety out for the time, and you are feeling that you may proceed forward. Next, let's go ahead and take a look into Jisoo's the first night with the dossier.
Oh, buddy. You can see Jisoo, and if you pan into her room, she's gonna be locked up there all night, left to be undisturbed. I can't. I cannot believe all of this training led me to this moment, and I still messed it up. When it came time to it, I should have known right away to scramble the signals and just call a car. Why did I try to go to the van? What was I doing?
Oh no!
You see Jisoo really beating up on herself, but then she looks at the corner of her desk and sees a different book. It's a sketchbook. And you see her reach for it and flip through it. These familiar sketches, way beyond her artistic skill. She thinks back to a time of a lost love, and she spends the night recentering herself, thinking now is the time that all of that training, all of the book studying, all of the hand-to-hand combat training, I have to put it to practice. I have to make it count.
Wow.
F's in chat for Jess, y'all. Just throw them in there. Oh, that was wonderful. And as you awake, your pools are refreshed, and you dwell upon that now is the time to work to the full abilities that you have dedicated your entire life to harnessing. And then the camera dollies out of that room and sort of... Sorry, the music just got really creepy for a second. I was like, what's Daquan up to? Turns to the kitchen where Daquan is finishing off the last of the ramen. No, let's punch in. Go ahead and describe where Daquan is and what sort of inner monologue you have.
We see as the camera kind of fades from Jisoo, it reemerges, and there is just a gun wall, and there are knives and rifles and pistols, and we see also a very tailored vehicle, and then a bike. This is the garage, and we hear the voice of Daquan just say 64, 65, 66. And it seems as though they're working out, but what's actually happening is that they have a board, a cork board, and there's lots of faces and string and locations, people that we met already and the locations that they spoke about. And you have the dossier on the side, and they're standing back looking at it in a black kind of tight shirt, and they look down, pick up the book. We flip through it, and it lands on a page. We don't see what page it is, but we see Daquan's very interested in it. Seems I'm gonna have to get a lot more busy.
The camera moves to an empty chair. All that's there is a note. A note left for Antal, written by the hand of T, who is not with us this session. And it says, Antal, don't worry, you can still judge me, even though I won't be around for a while. Catch up with you soon. Sorry, the T. So to mention to the audience, so Lily could not be here today and is off investigating elsewhere, and will be given the opportunity to obtain several leads and clues that can help and assist the party.
One cool thing that Grant mentioned, for example, is Lily can literally tell Grant, I'm visiting this other city in Europe, and Grant can use the book and be like, here are some cool things you learned. So that's a pretty interesting system, I think.
Yeah,
it's flexible.
It's brilliant. And with that, it is the next morning. Why don't you discuss in character how you plan to get out of London and where you want to go next, and sort of the elements of the dossier that have prompted your new directions, as well as any existing evidence that you had, for you had collected photographs of Romanian archaeological dig sites. You had notes and papers pointing to the Rock of Gibraltar and a MI6 satellite station on the other side of the world. It's really up to you at this point, but you're going to have to get out of London because the heat is too intense here.
Right. Because there's explosion and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we know that those people are after us, and they took a photo. Do we know that a photo was taken of Jisoo?
Well, you don't have to spend an investigation point to know that a redacted version of the photo has been seen on a television station. Little line over the eyes.
I look at Jisoo like.
And you might learn a little more if you do a little digging into that. Maybe where the source of the video had come from, or the source of the photo had come from. But it'll be up to you, and you can discuss how you'd like to go. So why don't we do a scene in character of you discussing next steps, and then what we'll do is we'll broaden out and frame the next scene.
Daquan's eating like a big sandwich.
Oh yeah, I'm drinking my black coffee. Like Jisoo, maybe we can trace where that photo was leaked from.
Oh, absolutely. You didn't even know of my face for the longest time. I am pissed. I did this to myself, and I need to fix it. I'm going on it.
A little unusual for you to get caught like that.
It's been a while since I've been on the field, and this seems to be quite the field.
Ooh.
Doesn't it just?
Okay, so I nod because I think I'm satisfied that you're gonna handle it. Like, you made a mistake, but you handle mistakes. So, you're gonna handle it. I'm both Daquan and I have been doing a lot of research about this, right? So I'm going through the notes, and I'm like, we could follow up on the leads that we got in Morocco, but looking at this document, there are a number of new possibilities that have opened up. And perhaps, especially since T isn't with us to give us information about things that she knows about the conspiracy, perhaps we should go to people who know a bit more about the vampires. And I turn the book and I point at a map. And the map is pointing, to Italy, to Rome. I'm like, perhaps we need to go straight to the Vatican and find out what they know.
Yes, it's very bad in numbers, but at this point, where do we have to go?
I mean, I have contacts in the Vatican that we can draw on. I still have 15 points of contact, I think. So.
You have. We could definitely get you in there. It may be that you had cover for a while where...
Wait, can I have slept with someone who then became a Catholic priest?
I wouldn't take it off the table. In fact,
forgive me for I have sinned.
To be honest, audience, there's no limitation to the amount of people that Shrong may or may not have slept with in or out of this game.
I'm a master.
It's the Biswas Dossier, an unredacted report. The names have been named. All right, so if you'd like to go to the Vatican, that travel can be arranged most definitely.
That's my thought. On the other hand, we could go to the ruins that we heard mention of, or the facility in Gibraltar. But I suggest we learn a bit more about what we're up against before going to a facility which might be the heart of what's going on.
Agreed. It's always good to be prepared. Than like going into the field not knowing, and we were very unprepared.
And then that's what we see what happened last time when we rushed to London. I'm glad we did rush to London, but we were unprepared, and then our main contact fell off a church in front of us.
Well, more like shot and pushed by some red-eyed. Did those pictures ever come back? Jisoo.
I assume they were quite... I don't know how they're portrayed, but we didn't get anything out of them. Were they clear or...
No, there was too much what we would call artifacting and aliasing. There were quantization errors that whatever digital processor is used to resolve an image. Essentially, computers are made up of ones and zeros. The error is it didn't know whether or not to make a 1 or a 0, whatever you were photographing. So you sort of have this obscured image of an individual that's not resolvable by your photographic technology.
No, yeah. I look at
Before
Daquan,
we-
the raw files. They're just unusable at this point.
Before we leave for anywhere, Jisoo should do some digital stuff. Is it worth checking out the body of our late friend? Because he was just shot, so we don't think any vampire attacks were there. But is it worth checking out his body?
I'm curious how unwilling that death was, considering how broken up he was over almost being the fault for Olivia's demise.
I mean, he was shot though. He didn't just jump.
Yes. Perfectly timed, though.
Could be someone he works with, a close friend, someone merciful.
So, like, could we maybe that's good. So we can explore him and his contact, who he knew.
I'll tell you this much. Based on the vampirology and military science investigative abilities that were used in the last section, you knew that was very clearly not an ally.
Okay.
So that's a detail that we'll give you. That was not a willing death, but Harker knew it was the end.
So I recommend let's spend today wrapping up any investigation we want to in London or in England even. So that includes Jisoo's digital stuff. I can go to like learn more about Harker. Daquan can do another thing, and then so let's each do one thing today, and then tomorrow we leave town.
Yes. I want to look into his old agencies. See
Okay.
if he kept in contact with anyone or gave any extra data to anyone just in case.
All right. Describe which skill you would like to use to look into that, and maybe where you were asking around, and that will definitely open a few things up.
I think I'm going to be using my bureaucracy and tradecraft.
Sure. So, with bureaucracy, Harker, for a time, moved into MI6. So, in an intelligence agency there in England, in London.
I used to work with them.
Yeah. And and I never know if it's you as an individual or you as a character. But, as you investigate into Harker's leads, you found that there was a moment Harker was almost compromised, almost turned within the organization. Essentially, Harker's interest was in the underlying problems that they were finding in the petroleum industry, underlying problems that we're finding in terror operations. Sure enough, there was an old case from the 1970s that Harker began investigating. A lot of the individuals from that case, it's not just a case, it's an incident. There seemed to be mass killings within the organization, agent slaying agent, as if there had been an infiltration by another governmental power. And while that was occurring, essentially, Harker dug a little too deep, got a little too close to some sources, and found himself out of that agency and essentially becoming an individual. And I'm going to get you the name of the individual that he did as soon as we follow the next lead. So I'm pulling it up on my computer.
Nice.
I tell you all of that.
Awesome. Yeah, we're doing a montage scene where we're each doing our
Yes.
thing in the evening. We're reconvening and getting all the
Mhm.
information. Yeah.
I mean, like my black cloak and glasses, and just like in an alleyway. What do you know? Oh, what do you know? Chip.
Love it.
Yeah, so Harker dug too far.
The dwarves delve too greedily and too deep. You know what's uncovered in Moria? Shadow and flame.
Burning Dracula? No, Grant. A Balrog of Morgoth. Duh.
I mean, you can design the vampires as you see fit, right? It'd be really funny if the
No.
vampires are Balrogs.
All right. So,
No.
oh no.
Oh,
the
no.
the alias for this individual is Gandalf. Sorry.
Yeah, it is.
Really?
Perfect
Yes!
timing. Yeah.
Oh my god! I am prescient, everyone. I am prescient.
This comes right out of the book too. I'm gonna send it to you all in the Discord just because
That's
it's
hilarious.
hilarious. Yeah, I'm just gonna
I
drop
love
that
that.
so you can see it. But yeah, you'll see it backstage, and that's what it is. So you do some digging, Daquan, and you find you know that it is a computer science lecture in their late 50s. They are Indian and they have a deep fascination in theology. And they were part of the MI6 team in the 70s and had been working with Harker, feeding Harker information. Current whereabouts are relatively unknown. They could be the they might be elsewhere.
Okay.
But you do get the name. The code name Blackwood.
Blackwood. All right.
Okay,
Let everyone know.
Jess, do you want to go next or should I go next?
Yeah, I can go next. I feel like yours is gonna be spicy. So I put on my nerd glasses. Yeah. My super filtered, no eye strain glasses. And I'm like, okay. I screen capped the TV. I saw the news and I saw my redacted picture. And I zoom in on that and try to clarify it. And probably a combination of using electronic surveillance and I don't know, maybe geology in this case.
That works.
Try to go digging.
So let's describe sort of your intention and goal for the use of the abilities.
Sure.
Go ahead and describe sort of the site or a thread that you are investigating to me, and then that'll help determine what information I can give you.
Okay. I'm trying to see. I think I'm going to start with what television source had the redacted picture and reverse the track on that. How did they get that source? What was the anonymous tip?
It was the BBC.
Oh, great.
Yes, but you know they got it from a governmental law enforcement agency.
Gross.
And if you source it, do you want to do this conversationally in person, or do you want to do this digitally and try to track? Because you might be able to just ask a few questions. Show up with your nerd glass and be like, I'd like to use that picture for a school project, and part of the project is getting license and permissions. Sorry.
Part of me, Jisoo is...
Calling myself out there, I've done that.
I mean, yeah, sheer force of will and assumptive characterization. Easy peasy. I think, yeah, there's a part of me that Jisu's bold enough with a confidence in disguise skill that she'd walk right up and have that conversation.
Yeah. So you come into the room, and there are, we'd refer to them as like, they're essentially they're three young women. Both look exhausted. They have really sharp hairdos. One, it's more of like a teal, teal streak. One has lovely feathered out, bleached blonde hair. And the third has short, reddish hair, very nicely combed. They're essentially the technical directors and the generated graphics team for the department. You're able to talk to security, and they're like, "Yes, we'll let you back in." And you got a bot in fat. Sorry, let me kill this bot from chat. So I wanna ban you. I wanna ban you so bad. I wanna add you as a friend.
Purge them all.
Let Count Dracula
Let me switch to my mod
bleed
view.
them dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, they hurt us too, hacking too hard.
If you say hack 3 times loudly enough, you summon the hackers.
This is
Oh my god.
it's hilarious too, because it's like, no, I'm gonna make you watch 50 instructions in order to delete or to ban them. It's like, no, just let me ban them. All right, I'll get you next time you come around, you little weasel. Oh, I could have done it from this console. All right.
Yeah, the obvious is
All
big.
right, so they let you through, so you're back there, and you're with the technology team, and there are these three young ladies, Raquel, Victoria, and Ronnie, and they're sharp. They're like, all right. Is this like a local tour? Is she on air talent? How are you dressed? Describe how you look to me, because that might change their response. I'm the executive. I'm a sponsor. You're fired. Get them out of here.
No. She goes in with a kind of a mousy, businessy attire, like fresh out of college. And if they ask her what is she doing there, it's obvious. She's like, oh, did they not tell you that I was supposed to show up? I'm the new intern. I'm supposed to be showering.
Oh. And I assume it goes something like this, like, hey, as the intern, your first job is to get us coffee, and they slip you a small flask, and they go, so come back with coffee, and make sure you get some for yourself, and we will enjoy having you help out around here. And
What are
you
the
can help us-
current laws in Britain? Pro, are they allowed to do this?
I mean, this is a step down.
And-
Jeez, I'm used to like the techies snorting coke.
So, and it's one of these things. I assume, however you respond, they're pretty. Like, what sort of social, investigative, interpersonal, investigative skills do you have? Tell me how you engage them, because they're just.
The best way to draw out information in Jisu's experience.
Nice.
So I will constantly do the social mirror. You hand me a flask? Of course, absolutely. I'm totally in it. And bring them back the best coffee that's spiked with whatever was in that flask.
Yeah, as you're coming back, they're like, we just want you to know we were talking while you're not while you were out. You're already our favorite intern, and like, and like,
My heart, Victoria. Oh my gosh, that means so much to me.
yeah, don't ever leave us. We don't know what we'd do without you. And then, but over time, you are able to get information about the file out of them. They're like, strange. There was some law enforcement that came here. There was this really weird pale guy. he had way too much suntan lotion on his arms, and he looked as if he hadn't slept in several days. Had probably been traveling in a hurry. And there was a slender woman with him. She had really, really intense green eyes. And she was the one that made sure that this photo be provided. And they delivered it to us on a secure device. They kept the device. They couldn't just like email it or something. They were really hush-hush about it. And when we tried to figure out what they were, the rumor was they're from Interpol.
Oh. No wonder you pushed the story so hard. I see.
Nice.
Not everyone just shows up with that information on encrypted files. That's so interesting. Hardware, not just emailing it?
It's crazy. They were treating us like we were an antiquated government agency, like we deal in like taxes and stuff. But
Heathens! How dare they?
down with the government! Sorry, and then they just like get caught shouting. Sorry, I don't know where that came from. Oh, we're banned from Twitch. Sorry, audience. No. All right. Yeah, and so you get all the information out of them. So there was apparently Interpol had stopped by, or people who were assumed to be part of Interpol. One's
I love
description
being on Interpol's radar.
One individual matched the description, and if you check the security cams, I'm sure you did. It was the same individual that Daquan fooled in Morocco. The other individual, you haven't seen her before, but you could tell by the physical posture, the entire presence in the room. She commanded the room, and the little weasel from Morocco was essentially like waiting to make a mistake and needed to sort of respond to her instructions at all times. You can tell he's probably messed up a few times. Yeah.
Hot.
Nice.
I will definitely relay that. I will seem slightly flustered when I describe the slender woman with intense green eyes and the powerful
And she was
aura.
like really pale and stuff as well, so she might be a vampire. We were thinking, right?
It's not off the table, but
I can bring up a
no,
picture
you know
of her
what?
for chat.
You know what? No, I want to say she's as vampiric as we think, but I saw her on camera.
Oh, right.
Right.
That's
Also the pale man. So I'm like, what the fuck?
Different kinds of vampires. You never know. So hold on, let me.
I mentioned I have been reading in the dossier how apparently they're like thralls and things as well, and like ability to like talk or like control animals and things. So who knows what this is? This is far more than most of us have dealt with in our agency lives.
All right, so for chat and the players, if you tune into this stream, there's one rendition of the individual who was traveling through the BBC, making sure that the document was delivered.
Nice.
I can hardly look at my face.
Is that a
Twitch up?
Is that a writing?
I'll send it to you in chat. It is.
Ooh. My riding crop is currently not in my apartment. My friend borrowed it before COVID, and I haven't got it back.
And then for you, Jess, I'm gonna drop it in the Discord.
You sweet bean.
It'll be in handouts.
Nice.
Damn. Okay.
So I am going to don my lab coat disguise, and I'm gonna go to the morgue, especially because the beginning of the dossier talks a lot about like morgues and for some reason that's like inspiring me. I'm like, So I want to go to the morgue. I want to check out his body and also any rumors of any other, because if we suspect there's vampire activity in the city, and I want to figure out any rumors of any other thing going on. So I put on a fake identity as a scientist, and since I am a scientist, it's easy for me to do that. And I'm going to use forensic pathology. Oh no, I don't have 0 points in that. What? I thought I had a point in that.
No, here's a question. Did you say your intention was to go to the morgue?
Yes.
Harker's body's not there.
Where would do we know? Do I suspect somewhere where the body would be?
Yes, with the kill squad that showed up at the church.
Oh, oops. Okay. Okay, then instead of asking about Harker's body, I want to go and snoop around about other mysterious deaths or strange medical things in the air, because we suspect the vampires are in this city, right? So.
Yes. Now, there was, I believe, was it this group you had your contact with Scotland Yard?
Did we?
No, that was a different campaign. Sorry. Well, here's what you hear from the law enforcement. You hear that there was a religiously motivated terrorist attack, and the counter-terrorist group that arrived at the church were attacked with a car bomb. And this is associated with Jisoo's photograph as a potential terrorist, which has brought a lot of heat. Now, in this local area, there doesn't seem to be that much vampiric activity. However, does anyone have a point of vampirology they'd like to spin? Because, Antal, you have picked up on something.
Oh, I think T was our vampirology person. No, Jisoo, you know some?
Jisoo knows
I
some.
have 2.
Great. So I call, like, I kind of call Jisoo, and I'm like, Jisoo, do you know anything about this? You know, like.
Well, here's what you learned, though. I'll tell you what you've heard, and then we can play out this scene. So, while dealing with your frustrations, where would Antal go to essentially unwind?
Answer carefully.
Oh God. Bro, tell me a place,
Speak
a park in London, if you know of any London parks.
There is Victoria Park.
Great. I am in Victoria Park. I'm on a run.
Okay.
No longer in the lab coat.
So what you found in Victoria Park, while you were walking through and the leaves were changing color, there was a brisk, cool wind blowing through. I believe probably some like Rufus Wainwright was playing in the background. You got there, and then you see as the autumnal park's conducting, there is a older man, probably early 60s, horrible comb over, eyes look dead, standing on a box, while a group of 5 individuals garbed in black are holding hands around him, and he is proselytizing to them about the visions he sees and the powers of dark, and how when their master returns and they finish this communion with him, when the master gets back from their trip in Romania, that the rituals can continue. But until then, we're going to have to wait.
Oh my God, that's wild. I went to discover science. Instead, I got occult rituals.
Yes.
So I record on my phone. I record his speech.
Ooh.
So I can send that to Jisoo, and I can show that to Tai when she's back from her research trip, and be like, "What does this mean, you guys?"
How sneakily do you do it?
Oh, I'm very sneaky. I can spend some points. What would this be? Infiltration? Conceal?
It would be infiltration, I would say.
Okay. Can I spend 1 point of it?
Or you could use a point of photography or something like that. I would let you do or surveillance.
I have points in where's surveillance? Oh my God, I have to get used to this. I don't think I have points in. I have 0 points in photography. I don't have points surveillance, so I think I'm gonna have to use infiltration.
All right, go for it. You're gonna infiltrate their little group. Excuse me. Let me hold hands too. All right. What are we doing here? Selfie. Could you repeat that prayer? Yeah.
We're here for Dark Lord. Dark Lord, right? Dark Lord.
I actually picture myself. I actually surreptitiously climb up a tree and record them from above.
Antal, please.
You're like pushing an ice cream cart through the park with recorders.
Oh my god!
Hover-
Wait, I don't have it.
Hold out the ice cream to them. It's a microphone.
I love that. I love that.
All right.
Okay. Great. So yeah, we learned this. They're doing some ritual. So flash forward.
The rituals,
doing-
the rituals will return when the master gets back from their trip in Romania. Until then, we'll just have to hold hands with each other and wait, and all their hands tremble a little.
So this suggests to me that this suggests to me that out of a couple of options, our two best options right now, so we should is either do Romania and look at the archaeological dig, or do Vatican and maybe learn about rituals. So I think we had 4 options, right? I think these two are good leads, especially if we heard this. And then we can also, in the meantime, keep an eye out for your computer science theologist that you learned about.
Yes. What was it? Black something?
Blackwood.
Gandalf.
Gandalf, yeah. Gandalf, codename Gandalf. It had to
and
be
then
in the
of
book
course,
too.
if we see this lady anywhere, now we know.
Yes.
Okay, so should we do Romania or should we do Italy? I kind of want to go hobnob with some priests out of character.
Sin. Taekwondo says, I think we need more information. If we go to Romania, we could just be walking into something new. Something we're not prepared for.
I will say you do have a bit of information. You have Olivia Liu gave you information about the dig site and the type of security they had. To get to the dig site, you would have to pass through the village that Shang mentioned. Antal had notes on the village. That's actually on the way. With the Vatican, though, by all means, you can go there as well. And just sort of describe how you want to present yourselves when you're there.
Out of character, I kind of just want to go to the Vatican.
Same.
Just because it seems really cool.
I licensed artwork for it because I was like, this is so beautiful.
Yeah, and like I out of character, I suspect we're gonna go to Romania at some point anyway.
We can fast forward to the Vatican if you'd like.
It's all in Europe, so they're not really close to each other.
Yeah, they're pretty close as well. Romania and Italy are not that far from each other. So let's take a trip to Italy. Does anyone speak Italian? Or does anyone want to speak Italian? I have 2 points of languages left.
I have I put some more languages in. So where is language on this?
Right underneath academic abilities.
I'm gonna throw you a curveball. I give all the priests here like
I've got
Texan accents.
Oops.
Buongiorno, y'all.
Oh no.
Okay, I think
Molto bella.
that's actually a good idea. That the grad just smart idea. I'm gonna disguise myself as a small parish priest from America.
Ooh.
That's across the Atlantic, doesn't come to the Holy See that often.
Ashton, North Carolina parish. I love it.
Something like that, yeah, like a small Catholic parish in the Midwest or something.
Got your camera and everything. I can speak Italian because it makes sense because it's
yeah, we'll add that too.
Right,
you got
on
it.
the back door.
Okay, so I did not take Italian. We're gonna have a lot of languages, so it's fine.
We do, yeah. Everyone's got 2, I think.
Yeah, I have a lot of languages. I have two unspent. Like I spent it on Arabic, Hungarian, and French. Great. So I'm gonna disguise myself as a priest. And what about you two?
Jisoo just stares at Antal and is utterly amazed. It's almost like looking at that detective from Brooklyn Nine-Nine, played by Andy Samberg. I'm like, you just make these elaborate backstories, and I'm like, this is fascinating.
Yeah, like Jake Peralta always has his backstory.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh.
Okay, this is the closest I can come to a priest cassock. It's my undergrad graduation robe, so we're gonna do it. We're gonna deal with this. And imagine imagine do Catholic priests wear the dog collar, the white one?
I believe so.
Yeah, so I imagine I have that as well and
I
everything.
don't know.
I was gonna say, we'll do our best to faithfully represent what we know about other religions without going too deep.
Right.
But I will note in chat,
Surface
or
level.
if you watch this on YouTube, or you're in chat and you do have information, share it with us on Twitter because we'd love to learn more about other cultures.
yeah. And I have been to the Vatican in real life, so I really had a good time there. So
Nice.
I
Ooh.
like to-
I got
Good
blessed
topic,
by the
chat.
Pope. I mean, in the square, not like personally.
I was gonna say, I was like, you
Damn.
come on up. You need a blessing. All right.
I look to Jisoo and just say, tourists, honeymooners.
Super easy to
Honeymooners, yay!
We could do honeymooning tourists. Hell yeah.
Gives a reason to be.
Spy honeymooners are the worst because they're so good at it. They're like, this means nothing. But I'm gonna make you sweat a little.
We're on a honeymoon. Can we just come in for a minute?
Can we get blessed by the Pope? That parishioner over there and his shirt on top
It's a
told
honeymoon.
us this is where we could. All right. Fast forward to the Vatican. You arrive around noonday, and the holy city is a wonder to behold. I mean, it's beautiful, but it's completely dead. We waste our time. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't license artwork if it was a dead end. But essentially, over time, let's go ahead and sort of talk about your approach. Now, on Tall's notes, originally, we know that you were looking for the vampire hunting leads.
Yes. So we have
Describe
two
your
things we
tactics
could
to
learn about here. The vampire hunter leads, that's mentioned in the dossier, and if they know anything about rituals that cults to vampires or whatever do. Those two things we can ask about.
Most of what they give you is very much, vampires. Fictional creatures not found in the good book. And every now and then you interject with some apocryphal writings, and you're like, well, there's this story. And and they're like, yes, we have a record of that story. And you're like, and that stained glass over there looks like a vampire. And they're like, why, yes, it sort of relates to that, but, it's like a vampire being, like, slain by a Templar or something like that. And then over time, they're like, we're going to put you into contact with Father Sebastian.
Perfect.
Father Sebastian loves this. And they take you down a long set of stairs.
I imagine, like, I was meeting with them in, like, the basilica, like, I was talking with the priest, and, like, the two of you are on the balcony, like, touring the basilica, but your earpieces are in, and you're like, listening.
I'm in the bunker.
You go into a confession booth just so they have to listen to you confess.
Yeah! Oh my god, yeah! So
That's a
I literally
other
go
game.
into confession. Yes!
All I see are vampires.
Sorry, now I'm thinking of the hot priest from Fleabag. So
Right?
Oh.
Reining it in. No, but they take you to Father Sebastian. Now, Father Sebastian is not a hot priest, or at least isn't at this time. In fact, Father Sebastian isn't really wearing robes. Father Sebastian is washing dishes and just working the kitchen. And then in Italian, he kind of just looks you up and down, and he's like, what interests you about the powers of darkness?
is there anyone else around?
Anyone else that wants to be there, you could be little priests if you'd like.
Oh yeah, okay.
Or you could be tourists,
I
or you
mean,
could be
like,
help for
any-
the
any-
kitchen or anything like that. But no, right now he's just the one. He's the only one washing dishes. He's like everyone else. They quit when it's quitting time. Not
Okay.
me. I
So
got no
so
quit.
I am going to make reference to the notes that I remember from the dossier and be like, I'm interested to know in the church's involvement in it's like Romania and Hungary and that kind of area, right? And Germany in this time period that the book mentions.
Yeah. Well, kind of looks around and goes, "You're referring to the church specifically, or the college?"
Would Antal know the difference?
So let's see. What abilities?
Archaeology?
Not archaeology, but what do we have about cultures? Human terrain would work.
Okay.
All right.
Chemist. I'm a chemist.
You're a chemist. You're like, college? Yeah, I did that. I can compound. So, you know that within the Vatican, there's rumors of this, and it was founded shortly before just before the Second World War. There's the Pontifical College of Romania, and there is an organization within that college known as the Scola Alatio.
Okay.
And you, being fluent in Italian, will get the translation as soon as I find it on the Googles.
Yeah, from Daquan. From Daquan.
Yeah.
Like, why am I not there?
I'm putting on like a Midwestern accent, right? So I'm like, I'm not even gonna try one. I tried one in college for a play and that was awful. But in a Midwestern accent, I'm like asking him about like, yeah, I'm interested in it. So yeah.
It's so they let you know. It's like, all right. So the thing about let me get some music on. Like, all right. So there is in sort of a social club within the college. In fact, it's a little more of a club. It's kind of like a collegiate sports team. As I broke this character and made him a Midwesterner, he's like, all right. In fact, it's got nothing to do with sports. It has everything to do with killing vampires. He says, and he narrows his eyes and he looks at you. He says, we fought those foul creatures on the Romanian fronts, killing every one of them, putting stakes in their goddamn hearts. You want to know about this? You want to see it? Are you coming down to mock me, Junior?
No, I can want to know about things without wanting to mock them.
Well, then show a little more respect and help me wash these dishes. And like, yeah, he kind of scoots over in the sink. He's like scrubbing.
Yeah, I'm gonna wash dishes. Yeah. I roll up my sleeves, my robes, and I start washing.
So, now please don't use the flirting skill where your hands casually brush while you're washing dishes. But no,
hey, I built a character who's bad at flirting.
So, no, while you're over time, you're getting his respect. He's like, your hands. How'd you bruise them knuckles?
Let's see. I'm actually good at reassurance. My one social skill that I'm actually good at. I mean, I don't want to intimidate him, so. So I'm gonna tell him about. I'm gonna be like, these. I broke a telephone off a wall in a hotel room in Morocco and punched a guy who was trying to kill me. Because I want to gain his trust, so I'm still in disguise, but I kind of want to gain his trust. So.
Yeah. You know, he looks at you and he's like, "Fuck yeah!" I mean, crosses himself. And
That's the shit.
Cross himself again.
Sorry, he's just like nods. And then yeah, he lets you know. He goes, there's been some killings happening in Romania recently. And we're eyeing to look into it. We coordinate calendars and you happen to be there when we happen to be there. I'll give you our calling card.
Nice. What's his name?
He looks and he goes, up there they know me as Sebastian. Down here, they know me as Dodonna.
Okay. So Father Sebastian or Donna, who is our vampire hunting
Daddy.
priest. Ooh, vampire.
Daddy Dodonna. Daddy
Love
Dodonna.
it. Vampire hunting priest contact.
Now come here and spend some of those points. Lean in. No, sorry. I wanted to see Jess's response. Sorry. All right, we've lost our sponsorship, but honey, this is where we do a honey and hot wax side scene, also by Pelgrane.
Excellent.
Yeah, now moving on, and that's the information you get out of the Vatican. There's other things you could do there, but it would require a lot more time extensively.
Okay.
And
So
your presence there draws
Jisoo
attention.
and Daquan, do we want to spend more time here? We can try and so the Vatican archives are notoriously hard to get into. We can try doing that. We can, there are other stuff we can do, or do we want to go to Romania now?
Oh, bless you, child. We've been having such a good time on our honeymoon. I didn't realize we were going to be blessed by a person of the papal society.
A coffee materialized in my hand.
Can you bless me, Father?
And I'm like, yes, why don't we step aside into that hidden chamber and now bless you over there?
All right.
Can I watch?
So one thing, I would still be curious about learning about arcane rituals and things here. If we are interested in learning about
Like,
that.
you want to be a part of them, or you just want to know what they look like?
No, learn about it, because we got that information about the Romanian gentleman and when he's back, whatever. The master, yeah,
The
wasn't
master. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark Lord.
Yeah, so I'd be down to do some digging about that over here. Or do we want to go to Romania now? What do we think?
You won't
I
find. Okay, go ahead, and I tell you.
Okay,
What you
I
might
will
learn about.
say this: if when Ontolid shared the secret video during his time as an ice cream man, I would have studied the congregation there, and really would have looked into their eyes and kind of analyzed, like, what do I know and how much of this can I apply with my vampirology? Like, are they thralls? Are they under some sort of influence?
Those
or are they
folks.
just fanatics.
So there's no additional points that could be spent, but here's what you get.
Mhm.
Their master refers to a popular television psychic.
No.
Yes. Who goes by the name Osmond Singleton.
Okay.
Okay,
And-
let's take a note of this.
Osmond Singleton was very popular on television and certain magazines during the 1960s and the 1970s. However, there are a lot of scandalous rumors around Osmond from that time, and was unceremoniously kicked off of TV with almost no word spoke. It seemed to point to rumblings of cult-like activity and possibly conspiracy. But there are some forums on the interwebs that says Osmond was probably involved with some sort of government operation at some point.
And the plot thickens.
Your face, Rob.
It's my thick plot face. Okay, great. So, next steps. So we're in our charming Roman hotel near the train station. I lived in a charming hotel near the train station, so we're gonna say we're there. Yeah. So what are we doing? Are we staying an extra day here to do some more info? If we have to, or should we just head to take a Euro rail to Romania tomorrow? Sofia, right? No, that's Bulgaria. What's the capital of Romania? Ooh.
Did we want to go to Gibraltar? It seemed like a quick info grab.
I'm worried that if we're going to Bucharest, capital of Romania, there we go. If we could go there, I'm worried about security stuff happening there. Like if it's the main facility, are we just walking into something with no knowledge?
It is a main facility. It seems that's where one of their bases are.
Yeah. So I think either learn more here or learn more in Romania. Maybe we can find this Osmond character. Maybe we can go to the dig site. We can go to that village that's mentioned in the dossier a lot. What do we think?
Let's get some more information here then.
If you go to Romania, the first drop would be Bistric, which is the village.
Village, yeah. Okay, what more could we search here, do you think, Dick?
Only things that you would... I was going to say, right now, just to sort of tell you, and I said the first 2 sessions or so, I'd let you know some.
Yeah.
Most of your spins have occurred. The longer you spend in the Vatican, the more attention you'll attract to yourselves. And you are currently being pursued.
Right.
With that said, your current leads point to vampire kill operations in Romania. However, you do know that there seems to be some church involvement that had happened in different military operations in the 1940s during World War II, as well as there seemed to be some involvement with a Belgian branch of the church in the 1970s.
Okay, that's another lead. Oh my god, we were racking up these leads and clues.
There's thousands of them.
Yeah.
While this was kind of going on, me and Jisoo were kind of going around in our honeymoon state. Could I have just done a scan just to make sure to see if any of the people seemed militarized, that had the same kind of demeanor as the people we saw in the Black Humvees, to see if any of them were around the Vatican area or patrolling or trying to keep low profile?
Without
anything I might say.
Yeah, without spending any points, you have military science, and I'd let you know that no one seems out of the ordinary and no one seems aggressive. They almost seem a little lackadaisical, because it seems to be a slower time of the year. The tourism is down. And they're all prepping for, their vacation time. Okay. They're looking to go on leave.
There's no stakeouts happening, right?
No.
Well, that's a relief.
No.
Okay. So do we want to do something? We could, I love breaking into places. We could try and break into the Vatican archives and find some information. Or we can leave that for later when desperate times.
Lest I remind you, we might already have too much heat on us.
Yes.
Okay, so...
And I'd almost put it this way, too. Getting into the archives, you could break in, or you could ask them, right? So it's a lot of this is public record, so...
Yeah.
The secret stuff.
I want to get to the hidden portions and the secret stuff. Okay, so shall we take a train to Bucharest then? Since you're saying that we have a lot of heat on us and stuff. Jisoo.
I'd say that's the logical choice.
Okay. Changing disguise.
All right.
My national treasure.
I'm gonna get my traveling gun.
Oh. Give me that sweet silencer, BB.
I love that. Here's my honeymoon gun. Here's my traveling gun.
You take the long and wonderful train ride. At any point you choose, you can exit your honeymoon personas, but you're like, let's let it last for 3 more country stops.
Maybe a honeymoon.
All right, now we're divorced. And just split. So, you arrive. The train arrives. It actually passes into the small. There is a small town called. It's either referred to as Bistria or Bistritz. I'll let chat see that, so I'm going to bring it up in Twitch, and I'm going to. I might be able to drop a copy in Discord. We'll see. Sometimes my photos are too big and I don't resize them. But it's a small town. There's a medieval quarter.
Charming.
It seems like a very cheery place. There's actually a lot of like Dracula merchandise here. There's Dracula t-shirts because this isn't far from where Castle Dracula is.
Yeah.
This is, kind of a happy-go-lucky place. Now, there are dark alleys, and when I say dark, I mean there are no lights, they're dusty, and there's rumors that some streets probably aren't safe to go down. And there seems to be a criminal element that is vibrant here in the small village of Bistritz, a small town. And there's actually, when you arrive, there is a protest going on, and there is an individual with signs. They have like 5 other people with them, and they are protesting. Their signs essentially say in Romanian, down with the digging, out with the oil. It's just like, or keep the oil in the earth, and our
fracking.
Yeah.
Oh, so the archaeological, was it not actually an archaeological dig site? Was it a oil dig site? Did I misunderstand the whole thing?
Well, you may have some information that the public does not.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, should we ask about this dig? Because we did hear about this archaeological site. Did we ask when the protesters what's going on about this?
How are we posing ourselves publicly?
I'm gonna pose as a visiting scholar.
Ah.
Why don't I...
We can be environmentalists and researchers.
Yeah, because I am an archaeologist. I have archaeology, and you guys can be environmental. Like, we're doing an interdisciplinary research team or something.
Yes. Interested in this, blogging about it, press, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So I want to go up to one of the I don't speak Romanian. You know what? I speak Romanian now.
Every time we get a new place, Antal speaks.
I don't know the Italian. That was you. +1. Okay, so I'm racking up all these Romance languages. I have French and Romanian. Okay, I'm gonna ask them in my fluent Romanian.
Hot.
I'm gonna ask him. What's happening? Tell us more about this protest.
It's a she. She's got a round face.
Yeah.
Her hair is dyed magenta. She's wearing a torn green hoodie. I dropped a photo of her in the Discord, and I've also can bring her up for chat. She's speaking to you. She's like, "Oh, it's these shitheads. It's these shithead diggers. They've been coming to our sacred lands, desecrating our lands, all in the name of greed and finance. And they're just. I hate them. And like she starts freaking out, and like the other protesters with her are like, we hate them. And they start like doing this, and like they're almost like on the brink of getting violent. Like, and there's like local police that are like, we're not even messing with this because this.
I want to use. Could I use my 1 point of reassurance and spend it actually, not just have it, and try and calm her down?
Yes. Now describe what you say to calm her down, because it will work.
So yes. So she's talking about like people and greed and stuff, and I'm posing the professor, right? So I'm gonna be like, yeah, you're doing an excellent job. Students have a role in government and blah blah. However, here are what I have seen are more useful tactics in getting attention rather than getting violent. Like in my university where I'm from, students do this and that and the other.
Like, she's kind of like confused. She's like, yeah, what I really want to do is release a rap album. And like kind of her mind got off of it. And like, yeah, and she was just kind of like, I think through music we could change the world and we could really get our messages out there. And maybe instead of shouting in the streets, we should be pouring albums. Like we should be pouring, printing some vinyl.
Art is the best way to make change happen.
Oh, actually, that'd probably be a point of shrink because that wasn't information gathering.
It's all right, but she might give you information, and she's like, there's this dig site up, by the old monastery, and there's an oil company that is just causing the worst, and they're just not treating our lands with respect. And the soil here is sacred to us. It's special to us. This is where we live. This is where our tradition is, and they're just, ravaging the mountains.
Okay. Awesome. So that so I'm like, thank you, student. Good luck in your environmental endeavors.
He's like, oh well, you can call me Daniela.
Daniela. Okay. Noting this down. I'm gonna have so many notes.
And then you look at the notes and you're like, what the fuck was I writing about?
I know, that
Might
always
be that
happens.
corkboard.
Always happens.
Gandalf?
Daniela, environmental activist, punky student in Romania. Great.
Who wants to rap?
Who wants to, I will write that down.
Yeah, your name is Daniela Itzhak. And I'll put it in chat.
Okay, good. Perfect. So, a couple of things. We could check out this. We could split up even. We could check out this oil company. I want to try and find, because in the book they say something about, in the dossier, there's something about the people in this town still serve Dracula. I don't know if they're thralls or if there's a cult to him or something. I am very curious.
All right.
But I feel like I've been putting a lot of focus, so I want someone else to do something.
Yeah, while this is going on.
So that's fine. It was the Slovak River Clan, or something. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Slovak river folk may still be servants.
There's lots of okay. So describe how you want to try to get information about these folk, and I'll tell you maybe how it goes down.
Right. So I want one of you to do this because I've been putting a lot of focus.
That's fair. Me? Okay. I'm intrigued since it kind of seems like the public front and the upset nature of they do know that the dig site is there, but they think it's like essentially a fracking oil site, whereas we're under very different impressions. So I would like to maybe spend some time either at the public library in town or maybe the town hall, trying to talk to some other folks.
Yeah, sure. Like, here's sort of the things that you understand. So, at the town hall, there's you come across, it's actually, at the town hall, you heard that, this is a tourist trap. People come here all the time. However, one of the out-of-towners comes here all the time. And this out-of-towner seems to have their own ideas about... they seem to have their own ideas about what's going on at the dig site. And you're directed to a very, very, very expensive restaurant. And at the restaurant, there's maybe 300 seats, but only one person is sitting inside being served. It's almost as if they're being treated privately. They have an oily, slick complexion about them, pale, a large emerald medallion around their neck. They're wearing kind of like a Steve Jobs turtleneck, and on every finger they have what looks like a different cut of a diamond ring on their left hand, and they're wearing a glittery glove on their right. And yes, and they have not taken it off while they're eating. They only use their left hand to eat. And that individual has been pointed out to you. They're like, they seem to have their own ideas about what's going on at the dig site.
That's so nouveau riche. Anyway.
Like big money, big money. So they just bring me here, like they're like
That's who they
know
point.
what's up.
That's what they get. They're like, look. So over here, there's a petroleum company that's looking at, there's a lot of oil here that hasn't been claimed since, post World War II. It was very hard to get access to those lands. However, there seems to be rumblings that it's not about the oil, because if there was, they'd be bringing in different equipment and things like that. And the individual in the restaurant, dropping him into the Discord for you, is who you're pointed to. Now, the restaurant is typically closed to the public. However, you could describe how you might use your abilities to get in.
Also, is that Osmond? Like, he looks like a sidekick to me. I don't know.
Well, yes, when you ask him his name.
You were the only one there, or will you have brought us?
It depends on what you guys want to do. So, like, I would much rather prefer someone if they're comfortable in terms of slipping into socializing, but I know that's not necessarily one of your shticks.
I mean, I like infiltrating and stuff, so.
Yeah.
But I want you to have the focus of the scene. I just don't want to take over the scene.
No, for
I'm not
sure.
good at talking.
At any point, I will allow any of you to interject yourself, and you can describe how you'd like to do that.
Okay.
So, it's like a movie. The waiter serves the food, looks up, it's Daquan with a gun. It's like,
Yeah, you know what? I'm probably disguised as a waiter or something. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
would
So I
say-
think that there's always a key thing. Like I have like a Morse code. Like, oh, I'll tap my smartwatch when I need you. I'm like,
Yeah.
right. So I think we're always at close hands here. But
So it's kind of like when we were in the Basilica,
Yeah.
but this time you're the main contact and we're the hovering disguised people. Great.
for sure, I think the best route to go is somewhere between streetwise and flattery. So this person was comfortable enough to tell me that this man is someone of ostentatious abilities and maybe has alternative ideas. So I think might do some platonic flirting with this person. Be like, so do you know their favorite wine? Do you know how to get in there?
They say the best way to get in is to be invited, which means you'll have to get his attention, which means you're going to have to ring the bell. They're going to look over. They're going to judge you in front of everyone in there. And then they're going to decide whether or not they open the door.
Oh, it's one of those situations. But of course, naturally, yes, I must be of attention worthy. We could like fast forward, but I think Jisoo could find the dark crimson dress with the slit up the thigh, up pin her hair and curl it up, and be prepared for this ringing of the bell.
Can I know this is not a skill in the list. Can I say that Antal is surprisingly good at hairstyling?
Yes.
Take ones was there with like the hairdryer.
Yes.
It's a team
you prep.
effort.
It's a team
Like
prep.
it's a skill Antal's actually embarrassed about because it's not like a spy skill. But when you're like doing your hair, because you don't go out a lot, right? In terms
Yeah.
of, I mean, you have the clothes and you look hot, but you don't do your hair very often. It's like in a Miss Congeniality, she's actually really hot, but she doesn't, do all that.
Yeah,
But I'm like, wait, no, we're not complete. And I like grudgingly do your hair for you. And like Daquan is like, what? You know how to do all this? And I'm
What's
like,
going on?
shut up.
That's beautiful.
All right.
Gay
Um,
character bonding scene.
which of you are you going to make one of the friends from in town ring the bell? Because surely Jisoo wouldn't ring the bell herself. Someone would be like, yeah, open the door, you dummies.
I could be like, if you're trying to be like this posh person, I could be like your assistant or something like that. Or
You're there to make him jealous.
Oh, and you are a perfect make him jealous kind of.
Yeah, because literally,
that's true.
he was going in to like take another bite of Cornish game hen, and as he like reaches down, he kind of looks up. He sees, and then he sees you, and like one nostril flares, and then he kind of shakes out of it, and then the bell rings. Antal's like ding dong, and the waitstaff comes over, and they open the door, and the waiter kind of asks Jisoo and says, kind of looks around and says, "All three?"
Oh, I'm gonna go in as a disguised waiter. So
Okay.
it's two of them.
Come in the back. Well, you have all that experience washing dishes. We might as well get you in 3 dishwashing scenes.
Yes! Level up the dishwashing!
Woo! All right. Okay, so
just so everyone knows, I wrote hairstyling in my character sheet, just saying. Under interpersonal abilities. Because it's a
So it
bonding
is
thing.
written. So
At-
she's done.
as
Yes.
as he asked, now Jisoo, do you respond? Both?
What do you think, darling?
You hear a voice, and it speaks with this sort of exasperation. Yes, and it's the guy as he's finishing his game hen, and he swallows it down, and he's washing, and he's motioning. He's like, "Both could come in. What's it matter?" And you're invited in.
Absolutely strike forth without even waiting for this
Nice.
meek person.
Let you pass.
I'm just on the arm, being quiet. I'm not to be looked at, not to talk.
So, yes, chat. I'm glad Miss Congeniality has been referenced too. We need more movies with Michael Caine in them referenced in the show. Now, you are brought to the table, and this individual says, "To whom do I have the pleasure of dining with tonight?" And you can tell it's almost like a fake accent, and it kind of like breaks into the worst, like American wretched Tidewater. With a little bit of like, oh no.
My disguise.
No,
He
don't
doesn't
judge
have
me.
4 points in disguise, just saying.
The guest will notice Jisoo's quirk of the eyebrow, and she'll just go, "My name is Angela. And I heard you had more intellectual ideas as to certain dig site situations going on here."
My treasure, I have many intellectual ideas, spiritual ideas, physical ideas.
Oh.
I am a man of wealth, taste, culture, and prowess, he says, shooting Daquan a glance, and says, "There is no oil digging at that dig site. Anyone who knows anything understands that it's a front." Then he, like, kind of swishes the wine around, incorrectly too, like wrong counterclockwise instead of clockwise or something like that, and just kind of, and then like,
It could be
done.
a wine in the wrong wine glass for optimum taste.
Why don't we just cast me as this person in the show and just be like, well, like, I make a great sleazebag in movies.
Yeah,
by the way, but
you're supposed to be holding the bowl to keep it warm because it's a certain kind of red wine. He's holding the stem, which would be cooling it. I'm like,
100%, just kind of like, I prefer it cooler. Then you can appreciate the soil more. And that's kind of what he says.
The
with like
terroir, the terroir.
yes.
Wine
Yeah.
terms.
Obviously. Well, only men with either too much to prove or nothing to prove at all would dress the way you dress, and it's
Oh.
clear which one you are.
I appreciate that, but I'll be honest. These are
That's a great line, yeah.
ceremonial garb granted to me by. He sort of stops for a second. He says, "Dear friend."
They must mean a lot to you if they trust you with such gifts.
They trust me with more than you could possibly imagine, he says with sort of a twinkle in his eye. He goes, no. I'm curious. You speak with a shadowed tongue. You walk as one who has seen darkness. And have you ever been curious to drink from that river? For it goes deep. I'm improvising this, chat. I have no idea. I'm just playing a creep here. No. I'm backing off.
Oh, whoa.
I have no doubts that our imaginations run along the same wilderness.
It's not imagination, it's reality. Have you ever been to London?
Why would you ask of London?
I have a lot of friends there, and they long for my return. However, if you're interested, there could be a sample here that I could show you.
I would die for such an opportunity.
Do you want to spend a point of flirting or high society?
Yeah, 100%. I'll
Nice.
fly away.
Daquan's just like rolling his eyes like
I love how our like hacker is also our like chief flirter.
So, and the look that you're given, Daquan, as you roll your eyes, Osmond Singleton kind of looks over. If you've ever seen the movie Rushmore, when Max Fisher gets punched in the face, then goes out and accepts the flowers and turns in slow motion with a little ha ha, like he's turning to you. He's just kind of like ha ha, I win. Now, you are invited. You have received an invitation, Jisoo, to a private ritual. He's willing to invite you to it in London, or you're invited. He has a private home that essentially that he owns here. He owns it. It is his. It is my property. It belongs to me, nobody else. He's very territorial and protective like that. And he says
Sure.
nobody else and kind of looks around.
So, like,
I'm
out
gonna-
of character, real quick.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to go back to London, me, Jisoo. But also a private home here sounds a little suspect.
Yeah, I hear that, and from last episode, it's established that Antal feels protective of Jisoo in terms of
Sure.
like her physical well-being.
Yeah.
So the waiter, wearing white.
Great.
The
Busboy
waiter-
apron.
Yeah, the waiter comes up with the cheese platter very pointedly, because I've been hearing this, right?
Yeah.
With the cheese platter, like, your cheeses, sir, madam, sir. And as I turn my head to madam, I like give you a significant look like, are you okay right now? Like, what are
When
you
you
doing?
when you say madam, he says Oiselle and puts his hand on hers, if he may.
Oh my god.
I
Oh
know.
my
You
god.
set yourself up for it.
That's fine. I'll let it
Yeah.
out.
Oh my god. So I'm not good at that. So I narrow my eyes while looking at Jisoo, but I like serve the like traditional Romanian cheeses. Now I really want to eat Romanian cheese. I've never had Romanian cheese.
That's
before.
what we're doing. That's what we're doing tonight. We're getting Romanian cheese.
Before
Yeah,
this kind of meeting and things like that, would I, with my streetwise and kind of criminal connections, could I find out anything about this guy? Anything that may be
Yes.
incriminating or things he's tried to keep on the low?
Oh, you already know all of that. This is a disgraced public television personality from the
Right.
60s and 70s, kind of like a child actor gone wrong.
Mm.
You know that he's in
So,
his
child
late
actor.
60s, but you do know that he is viewed by many as a spiritual leader. You also know that he has a daughter that he's extremely protective of that's not here. She's back in London, that he does not let near the rituals at all. Oops, excuse me, I hit my microphone.
Interesting.
And what you know is
Do I know her name?
Lola Grant.
Wow. Lola Grant.
Grant.
She's
what
cute
a
too.
fascinating name. Nice.
Are we alone, apart from the waiters?
There's just one. It's on tall.
So, as Antol is there, and the hand is on. Do you want to say something, Grant?
Yeah, well, tell me what you're going to say, because he was going to follow up with, "You're welcome to come too." To you.
Hmm. As he kind of says that, that changes my response now. God damn it.
It's okay.
Well, roll with it. Tell me what your response would have been, and it might be we rewind, and he, instead of saying, "You're welcome to come too," he's like...
I was,
blushing.
I say to him then, what I was going to say was, as the hand was on Jisoo, I was just going to say, I think it would be best if both of us came. I would like to see your manner, and in a more private environment, we can talk about your daughter, Grant.
He kind of says...
I'm not even looking at him, I'm just like messing with my tie because he's insignificant.
So you sense that he's sweating, like he feels it, like this cuts his heart. You can tell by just like a slight little twitch of the temple that no one else sees but you, because you're on that side. And then he says with full resolve, "We'll call her, and you can talk to her all about her."
The moment Daquan dropped that knowledge, you can see Jisoo's eyes, and just it goes predatory.
And he squeezes your hand a little. You can tell he's doing that because he's like scared. Like Osman's like, "What leverage do they have over me?"
Oh, and can I say, as he does that, I take out a giant cleaver to like slice the cheese.
I see it. I'm like,
Yeah, and like I like you hear the ching, and I'm like, your cheeses, sir.
like a rodent.
Yes!
So you have a choice. You can follow up with the invitation to Osman, and we can progress that thread. Or you can go to the dig sites. It's up to you whether or not you want to keep investigating.
So can we say
stuff.
the dinner is over then, and we're back in
It's
our base?
ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to give him an answer.
Oh,
Yeah, he's
okay.
like,
So
he's
what-
like, she's like, if you are coming, it would be 11:30, quarter till midnight.
At this point, I want to suss out whether it's an extension, like the invitation is more of a grandiose, self-important distraction, or if there could be something of use in
Yeah,
this.
'cause there's like a ritual, right? Some kind of ritual that's going on there that could be connected to the dig site.
Indeed.
I'll be down to go.
Yeah,
Alright.
he's worth entertaining to me, especially after Antal got that silly little crowd is all riled up about their master returning. I'm like, well,
We'll see.
a few hours can't hurt to entertain this man.
So I think Daquan kind of stands up then and just says, as the meal is over, "We'll see you then."
So we're agreeing to go to the ritual at his private location here.
Not back to
don't-
London.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Let's stay in Romania for now. Yeah.
So,
So do you want me to like break in or something, or do you want me not to go to that ritual? What do you, or should I just be available outside in case something goes wrong? What do you think is best way for me to go?
Untals are cleaner. There's no reason not
And
to.
assassin, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
On
should be,
Tall,
like,
there's a good
sneaky
chance
sneak.
they have no idea you're there, but you're there the whole time.
Yeah, I can be sneaking around. Yeah, perfect. Okay,
And with my architect as well, I'll give you the layout of the building,
perfect.
so you know where
Yeah,
to go.
right.
Schmexy.
We've got a plan. All right. Let us set up.
Oh, and the ritual was tonight, basically?
It's
11.
tonight.
Okay.
Gonna get my ritual gun.
These are my ritual gun. No, this is my ritual gun.
It goes bang bang.
All right. This is a lovely manor just outside the village. Beautiful. It's about 3 stories tall. There are long brick steps that lead up to it, and there is a gate. There is a single light on in the house, which looks like it's coming from the attic, and it's an amber light that is low with a slight flicker. Probably not because it's like a candle or something. Probably shoddy electrical wiring is what your guess would be. With that said, when the door opens, Osmond is there. Osmond Singleton. He goes, you didn't keep me waiting. That's marvelous, he says as he loses his phony accent for a second again. He invites you in. And he invites Daquan to have a seat on sort of like a long reclining chair. It's like a very like seductive chair where you can just sort of lounge. And then there's another one for Jisoo. Now this is almost here in the age of social distancing. There is some distance between you, and then yet he has a throne that is constructed out of ebon wood. It looks like this is constructed out of burned wood and ash. And as he sits upon it, he takes a crown of thorns that he presses on his head to the point where he bleeds. Yes. And he's like, just a bit. He goes, "The pain feeds my master. The pain sustains him." And then he begins to speak in an old tongue. He sort of goes in and out of Romanian, speaks a little Latin. He says a few words in French, and then he proceeds for the rest of the ritual in French. It's really an eerie experience that makes you feel uncomfortable on the inside. You feel as if grace has gone out of you to some other place. There is an aura of authenticity around Osmond. And he ends the ritual in the name of Dracula. And with that, he looks at you with complete and total trust, Jisoo, and says, "Now watch over me and make sure I don't die," and passes out completely, flat on the floor on his face, looking as though he might be lifeless in the moment, though you can see that he is faintly breathing.
Wait, are these two the only ones in this ritual with him?
Only ones, because if they were in London, there would have been more. Only ones that you know of. This was a private
I was
ritual.
imagining he's inviting us to a little soiree sort of ritual.
If you're in London, it would have been that way.
Right. Okay.
It would have been wild. Up your alley.
Daquan looks towards Jisoo and just says,
eyes wide shut.
Yes.
You're looking through a window, and we're just like, huh.
Yeah, I'm like clambered. My arms are pressed against the wall, so I'm like full split, like looking through the window. I have really high athletics, And then I see him collapse. I'm like, what? And you look up at me, and I'm like,
I slowly open the window.
Yeah. What were you saying, Dickwan?
I was gonna say, as this is happening, Jisoo just Dekon looks at Jisoo and just says, "We're gonna let him die, right?"
I mean, ideally get more information, but I'm not opposed.
I would let you spend a point of vampirology or occult studies.
can I spend a point of diagnosis? Actually,
I absolutely will spend a point of occult studies.
Your
I'm highly intrigued by this.
Okay.
I'm inside now. Now that the guy's collapsed, I'm inside.
These rituals seem different than what you have studied,
Mm-hmm.
and you feel, based on this evidence, even if it's just a ritual, whatever he was citing, he's coming from a different source than what you have found online in libraries. As you go through it, you notice that there is a book in his many shelves, and it's a folio. It's crumbling. It is bound in what looks like wrinkled leather. There is a gray stain on the pages and the covers of the book. It looks as though the sciences might draw out some more truth about this book, and it smells like grave rot. The writing in it appears to be a mixture of French and Latin with some Greek and Hebrew sprinkled out. And the name of this book, as you look at the title page, is Le Dragon Noir, the Black Dragon.
Of course. I'm looking at it and I'm like, ooh, well, my studies, it's like getting New Testament latest edition, the translation upon translations. I have not fed upon pure information. And this looks and smells legit.
I love how this looks and smells.
I kind of want to nab it. Slightly concerned that it'll be missed, though.
Oh, no, I can't make a forgery immediately. No.
As you're like thinking this, and Daquan sees this because you're wearing, perhaps like it's something slinky, you can't really hide much in it.
Right.
Daquan from their suit, because I have preparedness for, takes out a one of those micro cameras.
Ooh.
Yeah, take some pictures. You don't need to take
Smart.
a
I think we should take the book as well, because often there's stuff that's not just on the first layer of visual in a book, right?
Dip it in pig's blood. See
You
what
use
happens.
preparedness to have a fake old book on you.
You
I
prepare
will
stuff.
say my MOS is Filch.
Oh, yeah.
nabbed it, and you're just
Yeah.
like,
Mine.
you like, this is great. Where you like pull out some old pages, dump some barley on it, wash it, then throw it in the oven. You like,
Yeah.
you like while he's out there, and you notice like those of you that look at him, he looks like he's lost like 3 gallons of sweat. Like he looks like he's withering out. He looks like he may be on the brink.
I
You might wanna get him
definitely
in the bathtub or
diagnose him. I definitely want to diagnose him if he looks that bad.
You notice that he is suffering from serious dehydration. He is alive. He is stable. He's almost like a collegiate wrestler who's cutting weight or something like that. Like he's putting himself through this intense physical process where his body is ejecting all water from itself. You do notice too that he has weird lesions and abrasions that have opened up on his arms. But where he wore the crown of thorns has sealed up completely. This would be no natural medicine would cause that effect.
Does he look a little young for being someone so prominent in the 60s and 70s?
No,
Okay.
he fits
Just
his
making
age,
sure.
unfortunately, in every way.
Perf.
When I was looking through the blueprints for the house where they're kind of doing this, did I see anything that may suggest like a hidden basement, secret room that like he may keep some like stash from people?
No secret basements, but you know that this house belongs to an organization known as the Ruvari Zigani. Ruvari Zigani, which is known as like the Wolf Romanis. They are the wolf people. There is a people that lives here. They are the Roma people, and this house belongs to them. A point of streetwise would get you a little more information.
Yeah, I use a point of streetwise. I got two.
They are the real power in town. They are Romanian mafia essentially, strongly connected throughout this region. They're in most cities, particularly the capital. They have a strong centralized effort here in this region, so close to Castle Dracula. And they look down upon anyone that buys any Dracula merch. Like, they're not cool with it.
Fair enough.
Give me a Sharon.
I want to make sure that the guy is gonna not die.
You notice, if you, get him in a bathtub, and, to get, you know, it's like one of those things, if you go on a long, like, transcontinental flight, you want to, wash your hands and things like that. If you wash him, and, you make sure that, he stays on his side so he doesn't swallow his tongue, you'll probably be able to keep him alive.
Yeah, I'm a very good field medic, so yeah, I would know these things. And so yeah, I ask Daquan and Jisoo to help me carry him. I mean, I'm really strong, but you know, he's awkward and
Unwieldy, yeah.
he's unwieldy. So I ask him to help me find a bathtub or whatever and put him in and turn the cold water on and you know position him so he doesn't drown, but also doesn't like you know, yeah.
I grab his ankles. I give a toss of thanks to Daquan for having the pictures and stuff and being able to carry the book. But I'm like, you invited us. I'm looking down at Osmond and just talking to the unconscious body. Like, you invited us to a private ritual and said nothing except take care of me, would you?
You notice his eyes open, and he looks at you with red pupils, and you hear his voice speaking in it, your thoughts. He goes, "It's not what I told you, it's what you told me, Jisoo."
What?
Yeah, his eyes open. Do any of you have a point of notice?
Yes, I do.
You want to spend it, Daquan? It'd be very cool.
I also have one, so I'm like, yeah, we got this.
I think Daquan notices because you're too busy talking to him, right? Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm like, shocked. I'm like standing back. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I'm just trying to hold on to his ankles.
Then, Daquan, you notice there are 3 mice, like they're rats, on the side of the wall, watching all of this, just like quietly. And you hear the voice in your head, Jisoo. He goes, "The master has many eyes, many ears. I am but one set. I want you to know that I'll be watching you."
Uh-oh.
And then with that, his eyes shut again. Daquan, you notice the 3 rats that are watching intently. You know, rats don't behave like this. They normally be scared. They run in through a hole in the wall, and you also hear the fluttering of wings, and you see an owl that was perched on the windowsill take off as well. And again, the echo of the words of Osmond goes through your head, Jisoo. "The master has many eyes and ears. I am but one set."
And I'm suddenly reminded very strongly of the part in the book where the wolves appear,
I
and
know.
and I'm like, and I look, I'm kind of, my first reaction is I look at Jisoo and I give her the classic look that we have of should I snap his neck?
At this point, it won't do any good.
Like, because initially I was like, we shouldn't kill him, so we don't be suspicious in this area. But now that all this animal thing is happening, I don't know.
Your instincts would tell you, Daquan, as well, knowing that this house belongs to the Ruvari Shigani. Someone dies, especially someone like this, a servant of the master, who invoked the name of Dracula, dies in this house. You're going to have all of the Romanian mafia coming after you.
Yeah, okay. So I'm
I
like,
think
okay.
I think as you go to do, I put a hand on your forearm and I just say no. We already have enough enemies.
Okay,
We can
so
kick him a little, but it's like we can rough him up.
I think we should leave because of these weird animal things.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if by leave I mean skip town, or should we? I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know about the animal things.
Let's go to the dig site.
Dig site. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we should finish up trying to secure him into the bathtub, but
Yeah.
I am wildly perturbed by the fact that he just let us into his home and gave us no instruction what the end of this ritual looks like, but I'm not going to stick around for it.
Yeah, do you think it was? Do you think he was just horny and wanted you there, or do we think he had another motive of bringing you
You
here?
know, Jisoo, he is completely 100% in love with you right now, at least in his
Right.
own head.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was confident that that was the motivation for Osmond the human, but having that voice inside my head tell me my name when I never uttered it to Osmond, I was like, fuck. Okay.
Yeah. What? I forget. What are our
He is a
code?
psychic.
What are our code names? Our Digimon code names? Because we would have referred to
Oh
each other.
gosh, yeah, the Yu-Gi-Oh names.
Or Yu-Gi-Oh,
Yeah.
not Digimon. Yeah. I was Black
Yu-Gi-Oh card
Magician. We know
names.
that. Okay. We should book it. Yeah.
So you have choice. You can leave town and go someplace else. You can investigate the dig site as well.
I think dig
So
site since we're here.
my Antal's thing is always if you have blown your cover, you need to find a new cover or leave for a while. That's what he does, like as a disguised person. So I think, as I'm telling you this, I think we have blown our cover. We've been seen. I'm very, because of reading this document, I'm very wary of these like animal things. Even though the logical scientist part of me be like, that's stupid. But yeah, so I would relay that suspicion and that fear to you guys.
This is a matter more than just the typical our agent covers blown, though. It seems though we're being bested at every scene we go to. And the animals are suspicious. If obviously, I think Daquan would have told us.
Right.
Creepy little rats everywhere.
An owl.
Birds and rats.
Okay, Cinderella. We can't. Jisoo will express that I do not feel comfortable leaving Romania until we at least look at the dig site.
Okay.
We know the layout. We know the security. We at least should go, even if it's a brief glance.
Should we go in night as infiltrators, or should we go as exactly like Charlie's Angels, or should we go and pose and walk in the daylight and stuff?
Well, seeing as how most people think it's an oil site, most likely most of the action happens deep at night. I think we should go now, while the night is
Danger
young.
is peak.
Yeah, the night is young. Grant, what time is it?
It is about 3 a.m.
Oof, the night is not young. Okay. I thought it was midnight or something. Okay, the night is
He would have had you throw up at midnight, and time went. Well, let me redo math. So it would be about 2 a.m.
Okay, so there's a little bit of time. Okay, should we go now then? Is the time right to go now?
Now,
I'm
skip
game.
in the morning.
Like, what else are we doing? Pulling all nighter, beaches.
Yeah.
Skip
We're
out of town
trained-
in the morning.
We're trained to do all-nighters. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
My
So
archaeology guns.
great. You can. It's very easy. Do you want to steal cars or transportations to go through the mountain pass to get to the dig site, or would you?
That's a Daquan question.
I think I would have procured, because I preparedness,
You
I
could
think I
have
would have gotten
You got a vehicle.
the vehicles.
How nice are the wheels?
Oh, they're nice.
Yeah.
They're specifically for like off-road as well, so.
Nice.
I feel like I also have a preparedness of 5, so I'm like probably giving you like the gadgets, like the night vision goggles,
Hey!
the
You got
sneaky
'em.
shoes.
Sneaky shit.
So you're going to arrive on the scene of this archaeological site by the Romanian monastery, and you can tell there is a fence around it. Even though it is the wee hours, there is armored guards working. You're remote enough in the mountains, though, that they're not like causing noise violations or anything like that. But a loud explosion kind of echoes through the hills, and you hear crumbling rock nearby. Your best guess is that this is a sloppy and shoddy job where they are attempting to blow through the site as quickly as possible.
Oh, they're like using dynamite to like dig kind of thing.
Yeah,
Well,
it
anyone
seems
looks
like
too
they're
quick.
blowing up things in the mountain, and they're trying to go as quickly as possible. There is let me double check my notes. There is an individual who seems to be milling about the most. Tall man, strong jaw. He has like flat blonde hair. Looks a little almost like straw, like scarecrow straw. He's not a scarecrow though. He's an actual living person, but broad shoulders, and you can tell, like Daquan can tell, this is someone who knows how to fight. But you can also tell, even watching Magnify, he's like missing 2 fingernails on his left hand. That would tell you he's most likely a digger. He's strong and he knows how to carry himself, but this is an archaeologist.
A quick question. As we saw those armored guards, can I tell what like unit they're from? Are they like special forces? Are they mercs?
They are very clearly
Are they from the people we saw in London?
your best guess, judging by their insignia and their tattoos that some of them have. These are mafia. These are mafiosos working as mercs.
Okay.
So should we surreptitiously gain access, or should we talk to one of them? I vote surreptitiously. It is 2 a.m.
It is. Is there any way, Grant, that I can spend a point of Streetwise to have an in this mafia?
Contacts, maybe. You have some contacts points, right?
Do I wear contacts?
If you go to, where is it? We have like or something. A network, it's called. Sorry, it's below the general abilities. There's network and cover, so you could have one of those.
So we can use your network. We can spend some points from that to give you an in.
Oh yeah, 15.
It's not someone who's working with the guards, but it is someone working in the dig site.
Right.
This is they're working, these large earth-moving machines, where they've if Mr. Man down there looks like he knows how to fight, this guy looks like he's never seen a fight, but he's been in thousands. He just kind of has that. He's like, look, I may drink a lot, and I won't go to the gym. But why go to a gym when you can just actually fight, right? That's your conditioning. Yeah, this is your contact, Octavius, and you knew them from the British Special Forces. Like they were part of the same training unit from your background, working with the mercenaries, and they came here by special request. You can determine if it was you or other means to be an asset on the ground at this dig site. Also remember, on Tal, your friends at the Vatican said they could coordinate their trip with your trip.
Right. Is that something we should make use of now?
Sure.
Or should we save it?
I mean, we're not going to be here much longer, right?
I don't know. We might find the castle and go to the castle. I don't know, really.
That's true.
Short campaign. No,
it's you. It's your contact. I'll leave it to you. We could use it now. Have more.
Why not? Right? Life is short. Our life may very well be very short if we don't use these things, right?
Also, I think I asked them to be an asset.
So okay, you've got.
I'm gonna give a call to Father Sebastian as Daquan is driving us.
Okay.
Nice.
So do any of you have so essentially as you're getting there, and you're approaching it. So this is the local muscle. They're they're local Romanian mafia. You know that. There is an archaeologist leading the dig site. Do either of you have photography?
No, I don't. I have archaeology though.
Archaeology does. Okay. You know that
he still has photography, so but yeah.
The archaeology tells you that they're trying to get through this digging as quickly as possible.
Okay, so I whisper like they're desperately searching for something. They're not doing the regular care that you need for archaeology, which is where you dig 1 square foot at a time to see what else is in the plot, all that stuff. They're no, they know what they're looking for and they're just blasting through everything.
Do you have diagnosis?
I do.
You also notice at the dig site, as you sort of look through with your spy glasses and your night vision, there's very clearly a cooler box on site that has 20 units of blood on standby.
Oh my god. Okay. Jisoo, just so you know, we gave a call to Father Sebastian to support.
Oh, I heard. I heard what I was gone for 2 minutes. And you're like, yeah, why not? Let's use this contact.
Woo! Hit the button, a plane flies over, 20 priests descend from the sky, crosses in hands. You heard of the flying nun? They're coming over the mountainside and just...
When I used to play Age of Empires as a kid, I would have my, priest legion walking around converting people. It was fun. And if the enemy had studied technologies that they wouldn't be converted, they'd die instead. My priest would be walking around and people would just blow up. It was so fun.
I've learned so much about your childhood.
I'm foreign. Okay.
So am I.
Hey. All right. Let's
So not a single archaeology dusting. Nobody's carefully fanning.
No, they're just blasting through.
They're trying to blast through the mountains. They got a bunch of blood on standby. And if you wanted to, did you have a point of photography, Jisoo?
I sure do.
In that accent.
Yeah.
You see,
George, let me take the pictures at night. Let me just put on this night vision filter.
there is among the dig site, as you see, there's the armored mafia. There is the man missing 3 fingernails with the strong jaw, who seems to be ordering the workers around. He seems to go report to someone else. There is a woman standing with aggressive posture. She is wearing a very impressive black dress. Her hair is pulled back and up, and she's wearing a crown of red flowers. And you can tell that as she sort of moves, her dress gives off the fact that it has sort of a floral pattern. And she moves with like perfect precision. And that clearly is who is in charge down there. And every now and then the strong-jawed man walks up to her and she hits him, and he goes back and tries to motivate them to go faster.
Damn.
So we need to figure out what they're digging for, and secondarily, who that blood is for. What do you think the best way to figure out what they're digging for is? I say, Daquan, can you talk to your sneak in and talk to your contact?
I could do that. Could I just call them? like, hey,
Call me, beat me.
get your phone on you.
Yeah, you got them. You got a burner phone. They were ready with you. They're just like, hey, not allowed to talk on the side. Not allowed to talk. Go fast. They're gonna notice. Oh, hands free. Switches to hands free. Sorry, a little panicky.
Earpiece, goddammit. Dude. Yeah, I simply just say dig site objective, blood objective.
Ooh.
Reports back. He goes, there's a rumor that there's a coffin and they're going to get that. They're having trouble finding it, though. There's some ruins that we found, and you can tell he's scared to speak a little loud. He goes, there's a coffin with something inside.
We need to get to that coffin first.
I'm gonna say munitions warehouse location.
There's no warehouse. The mafia comes strapped, ready to go. But there's a van that comes in every morning at 7, drops off. More men, more guns.
Right.
Ask them how they're going to transport the coffin.
Transportation.
Can't find out. Try to get close. And it got scary. They, those mafia, they're not like us. They move differently.
Ooh.
Explosive
Good thing I
storage.
called Father Sebastian.
He does let you know where he sends you back a photo of an explosive house. Like, but be careful with that stuff.
I'm an explosive expert. I simply say at the end, stay at the far side of the facility.
Aye.
So, are we going to try and nab the coffin or blow everything up?
We don't know where the coffin is. They haven't even found it.
What's our plan? Now, we know what they're doing. We clearly can't let them do this. This is interesting because we actually, the three of us, don't know a lot. We don't know at all of what's going on.
No.
We just go there after the coffin and like, what the hell are we supposed to do about this?
Normally it's like a snatch and grab or like a takeout, but what do we
Yeah,
do with
but like
coffin?
in this situation, we don't have info on what this is. So can we? I'm like, can we? We can't find that. We can't just find the coffin. What we can do is try and steal it when they find it. So we're 3 people. We're not digging all night. Like, what do we do? You know?
Right, and there's too many to take on.
Yes, especially if those mafiosos are like, not entirely human. Even these guns can't deal with them.
Look at my pieces. You're right.
Our explosive expert, you hear something coming over your wire. The phone is left on with your contact. He's sending, there is a loud explosion, and there seems to be a great commotion as multiple people run up to a hole in the earth.
Okay, they found it. Are there any big transport trucks or anything in the area?
There are.
Okay, Daquan, you need to jack one of those.
Right.
Jisoo and I will try and get the coffin to you or something. We need to get this coffin.
We need to get a distraction. We don't need this car anymore. I can set it off on the hill.
Yeah,
bring it to
exactly.
Explode.
What if we don't worry about the coffin? Can we acquire the blood?
Blood is just blood. I think we should grab the coffin. And this is not to shut down.
No, it's okay.
This is
You have
not
points that you can spend that might give you more information about your strategies as well. So.
Oh, vampirology, Jisoo?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The hunch. Yeah, I'm curious. The hunch is it specific blood or is it just a pile of blood? Because that's what I want to know.
Yeah, because if we give that up, then it won't have anything.
Do you have any points of vampirology you can spend?
I have 2. I've spent one
Right.
in occult studies.
You know this.
Nothing
You know
in
2 things. You could steal the blood, or you produce some holy water that you have pilfered from the Vatican, blessed by the hands of the Pope. Or you could contaminate that blood for the vampire and poison them. They'll probably die as soon as it's ingested.
That's so clever. Okay, could we do this? Does this sound like a good idea? Jisoo, go contaminate the blood. Daquan, steal one of their transportation trucks. I kind of want to smuggle the coffin into the Vatican.
Oh my god.
Because we have no way of studying it, but the Vatican's or not to the Vatican. There is a branch of the Sebastian's group here, right? The Sbola Ilatio, I think. If we can steal this coffin and get this to them, that might reveal a lot.
I think that might be a bit too risky. There's too many. And if we do it in transport, maybe.
Like how confident are you? Like how much BDE do you have right now on top?
I don't know, we need to. If we can go and disguise and convince them that this needs to be transported, and run away with it or something.
You hear shouting from the woman in charge saying, "Wake her up! Wake her up! Wake her up now!"
Uh-oh.
And then the straw-haired man with the strong jaw is just like, no, and there seems to be some contention down there.
Yeah.
Poison.
I would love to
Go
try
to the
and
poisoning.
sneak in there and be like, hell yeah, I'll grab the blood.
I want to sneak with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay on the ridge and take out my heavy-duty sniper rifle.
Schmexy. Okay.
I think your distraction idea might be a good idea, though.
Right.
Do the explosive car.
I'll do that if you're seen, and
Okay.
then that would be like a distraction. So I'll set that up as you kind of go. Now, if I see you getting seen, I'll set that off.
Okay, great. So Jisoo and I will sneak in.
Yeah,
All
if
right.
everyone is scrambling and seeming unwilling to wake him up, which I assume means grabbing the blood, I will try to slip from the shadows and appear.
You're going to need to make some infiltration rolls to get in.
Yes! Ah, this is
Difficulty
exciting!
6.
Okay.
Say it again.
Difficulty
6.
6.
Ooh, I'm gonna spend both my points then.
Does that mean I have to roll a 6 on a d6?
Do
Right.
you have...
I have a 10 in infiltration. I'm
Ooh.
just trying to figure out how much I want to spend.
Nice.
It's up to you how much you want to spend. So you also might have a cherry that gives you some other thing.
Oh yeah.
Jisoo was there the entire time.
I think I'll spend. I'm not confident in my rolls. My rolls have been shite, and I've been able to not roll tonight. So I'm gonna spend 4 because I really need this to go good on my.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend all my infiltration, which is 2. Not a lot, but you know. +2. Okay, bam.
That was
Yes!
an excellent roll.
Yes!
Whew.
I, however, got a 3.
So I got a 10. Yay.
Got that 6.
So, Antal, let's talk about this botch. So, Jisoo, you get in and you're making your way to the cooler. You have blended in like nobody's business, and you are making it way. Right about then, you hear loud voices behind you. The fuck you are, motherfucker! And you get pushed on tall by this tattooed man. He's just like, this is bullshit wannabe, and like they're giving you a hard time as you come up to this gate, and like they hold their Uzis. They go, we'll shoot you in your fucking face, motherfucker, and like they're calling you a bunch of stuff. Like they're getting really intense. Like they're like spitting too.
Can I use my MOS?
What's your MOS?
Disguise.
Yes. All right. Describe the leader of the Romanian.
Is he putting on a bomber jacket?
Yes.
I'm dressing up as a member of the Romanian mafia.
Yes. And it's going to be one of those things where you like flash like your elevated status. And not only that, like he held his Uzi, you have a larger Uzi there where it's like, look, one, it's not the size of the Uzi, it's how many bullets per second. Two, mine's still bigger. And like,
I definitely make a penis joke in Romanian somewhere in there. Like mine. Darling is not a believer in, you know, size matters, but you know, Antal knows how to talk to these people. So I just want to put that out there. My procedural rhetoric is not about penis.
we got it. It's just it's lighthearted mafioso jokes.
Yeah, so I'm like, so he like threatens me, but I'm really good at keeping cool. So I just give him a cool look, and I like flash the thing, and I'm like, excuse me.
Yeah, they let you in.
And I kind of I thought I breathe a sigh of relief because initially I was trying to sneak, and that didn't work.
All right.
It was flawless. The transition from sneaky to assumptive approach.
That's why I have these jackets. Woo.
Jacket power.
Now, Jisoo,
Yes.
describe how this goes down for you. Because there seems to be some fighting and commotion up there about waking up a vampire, waking it up. It looks like the woman's going to get her way. Like, you can see the man, he got tired of getting hit. He went to punch her, and she just, like, stuck one finger on his throat. It just looks like her nail's touching. And you see he just, like, goes pale as a ghost and drops to the ground. And then she just kind of licks her nail slightly.
Sure it's fine.
Oh, Jesus. This is fine. This is fine. I feel... GC feels like there's no choice here. Like, I need to be the one to wake up this vampire. So I'm beelining it as professionally as possible to the blood.
All right.
I want to go to the coffin to take a look at the coffin.
You can see they're getting ready to open it. There's like 6 archaeologists, and they're like, the leader's here to open the coffin. And they like hand you like a crowbar on tall to open the coffin and remind them of their dark. Now,
First off, using my archaeology, do I learn anything about this coffin?
this coffin looks like it's at least 600 years old. This coffin looks like it's been... it is smaller in size. In other words, it's either built for a tall child or maybe a female-bodied individual that wasn't very tall. And you can tell that it's very, very, very ornate. There is, it is very clearly tied to a local bloodline. And they're like, all right, get this thing up and open. So they've like hoisted it out of the earth. I want to cut the camera over to Daquan, who has a sniper rifle ready and is what shenanigans do you have going down?
I think I've gotten the car kind of ready to go, just in case I need to blow it up or like defuse it. And I think I'm using my outdoor kind of survival. I'm in a bunch of like kind of like high-rise kind of hill on a tree, and I've just got my like heavy-duty sniper rifle, and I'm just looking through the skull, looking at the woman, looking at the coffin, just waiting, ready.
Nice.
Right about then, for you, Jisoo, in order to spike the blood packs with the holy water from the Vatican, it would be a conceal test of 4.
Ooh.
I will spend 3.
Oh, yes. Eee!
Again, this is pretty pivotal. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure I don't want to be here when a vampire resurrects, nor do I want them to be alive. So
It's Palpatine.
Everything has proceeded as I foreseen.
So spending 3 of 5, rolling a d6, and I needed that. So 2 plus 3 is 5.
You got it. So there you go. You are rolling dice and getting your
Just
way
heart
as
is
you.
pounding, trying to stay cool.
You get it in. Just as you get in, you kind of slink out of the way. People are coming over to get it ready on the standby. Now, Antal, all eyes are on you to pry this coffin open.
And Jisoo wants me to pry it open, right? Because we're gonna need. So I will help whoever's there to pry it open. 'Cause I want to take a look at what's in there, definitely.
Okay. The coffin is opened. There is a smaller sheath inside. You put sheaths over these bodies that are typically kept in above ground tombs as opposed to buried. Now it's fallen over years, but this was in ruins as opposed to just being in the earth. And they ask you to remove the sheath from the body.
Oh yeah,
So
I want to know what this is. Yeah.
it is a pale individual. She has just a beautiful visage. She is perfectly made up upon burial, and as air begins to go into her and fill her lungs, her eyes are slowly opening, and with that, the lady has the blood. They're bringing it over. She looks at you ravenously, and she's getting ready to tear into you. But before an initiative roll, yes, because you're the closest thing. She's been starving for centuries. She's been buried beneath the earth. She's gonna kill you. She's gonna kill you. But they hand her the blood, which she begins consuming rapidly.
And I start backing away.
Yes, and the sorceress of Romania goes to take her hands as the vampire who has just been reawakened begins to turn into solar fire from within as the light of the divine pierce its heart, and the sorceress turns to look at you as if to accuse you, Antal, and that's where we're gonna cut.
Open the coffin.
So you're also the last person to arrive. But with that said, that's going to be our little cliffhanger ending as there is an explosion. Yeah. Everyone seems completely freaked out. And let's go ahead and I'm going to cut the music and go around and talk. Get a moment to cool
MOS,
down.
you guys. It is so fun.
It was good.
Suspense.
It was real good. Oh, man.
So, did we enjoy ourselves? Let's take a second to go around and talk. So, Pro, you were watching from a distance there the last few scenes. You've got a shot ready to take someone out. How are you feeling? How did you enjoy the session? A lot of more investigation than confrontation, but we got there at the end.
Yeah, no, it was really good. I loved seeing our like spy hats on and seeing Jisoo there in the wild, getting like that, getting their spy gear on and all that stuff. That was really good. Everyone's strengths came out and had a lot of fun. So thank you for once again inviting me to this game. I am Pro Restarter. You can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, all over the place. Can't wait for next week. It's gonna be fun. Bang bang.
And Jazz playing Jisoo, how was that session for you?
That was really nice. Jisoo definitely has a lot of trust for T, so she hasn't bat an eyelash at the fact that T is like, I'm gonna go take care of a club thing, maybe go investigate a different town. I'm like, great. You can find places that I cannot. This session was spicy. I love, like, I don't know, the pacing between all of us as players and then Grant handling us, like,
I love all of you so much with all my heart. It's just one of these things. It's like, I think we have a good cadence, rhythm, and flow.
Yeah, I mean, my butt cheeks are clenched in that whole last scene. I'm like, what are we gonna do? Please don't die. This will be fine. We're cool spies. We can't lose just yet. But
I
yeah.
think it's really interesting that we have to, like, Grant was kind of like, first we have to make decisions without knowing a lot. Like, what are we gonna do with this coffin? What? And then Grant was like, well, you know, action is still happening. They're doing things. Make a decision now. And I'm like, oh my god, okay, you know.
Yeah, this game does a really good job of, like, there really isn't a way to meta game without it. Like, there's no way to break this game when you have a team like this. It's just, it's more like very comfortable, fluid, choose your own adventure. You're like, okay, I'm gonna do this thing. I love that I got to use my MOS, and I feel like this book is going to be hella important. I did see it briefly in the dossier, so I might be doing some research later.
Oh, the Black Dragon?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Dragon.
I think the MOS mechanic is very, very fun.
Oh, it there's nothing quite like being a badass there, doing your thing.
Yeah, like once per session you can do a cool thing. That's like really nice. Like once per session we can filch and disguise. What's your MOS, by the way, Pro?
Piloting, so I'm gonna.
Oh, nice. Nice.
That's gonna be the remaining escape. Daquan snaps his fingers and the Pope plane flies over. It's like,
hey, we did hobnob with priests, right? So
we managed to filch holy water. It's fine.
And Sharong, how was the session for you? How's Antal doing, and where can we find? Oh, actually, Jess, do you have any plugs?
No, thank you for existing with us and being here. I mean, if you want to follow me, I speak words and do a thing on Twitter at Burst of Hope. You probably
Jess,
can
that
find
awesome.
in the chat. Yeah. I'm just trying to be a cheerleader. Everyone deserves a good voice in this space, and everyone has stories to tell. So thank you for being here to listen to ours.
Well, thank you for that. And Sharong.
yeah, so I thought it was really fun. As usual, I love disguising, and I got to that multiple times. I brought all my costume pieces out. I'm a bad LARPer. I don't have that many costume pieces, but whatever. So I brought out stuff. That was really fun. I really liked the ending when we're like, we need to take action now. Like, what are we gonna do? I think while I don't have so much time to pour over the book as I'd like to, the fact that it exists and we can use it as a resource. I mean, the Dracula Dossier, not just the Pelgrane book, but the Dracula Dossier handout, the entire 400-page novel, right? That's a really cool thing to exist. It's really interesting, and I'm gonna try reading a chapter a week if possible to prep for our game. So that was really fun. I also like how as players, we're making an effort to make sure we each get spotlight, which I think is an important thing to make sure everyone's having fun. Because I know I'm very loud as a human, and it's very easy for me to just take spotlight all the time. So I think it's cool that we're trying to rotate and make sure that we're doing well. So I'm Sharong Biswas. You can find me on Twitter. I think it's in the chat at Sharong Biswas. I would love to plug the book I'm working on with Pelgrane, with my co-editor Lucian Khan, that Grant mentioned, called Honey and Hot Wax. It is an anthology of erotic LARPs. So check that out on the Pelgrane website, and it's on pre-order right now. We have 10 really cool designers and 8 really cool games about sexuality. And human relationships. Do check that out. And do check out, Grant is doing a number of cool projects with RPG gamers and streamers and designers. So do check out all the stuff. He's always trying to support various voices within the role-playing game community. So.
Oh, I'm just an old chunk of coal. But I'm going to be a diamond someday. Also, for those of you in chat, thank you so much for joining us for this session. I have dropped a voucher code for 20% off all Night's Black Agents products associated with the Dracula Dossier campaign. Do support our show. We are very appreciative of Pelgrane Press for their support in this show, providing us with many assets, resources, guidance, and making sure that we can put on the best show possible. Thank you all so much for joining us, and we will exit once again with our intro as our outro. But you can catch us on Tuesday here on WebDM for Symbaroum. And Thursdays we do the prep stream for Night's Black Agents, where you can see how I handle the clues that my players have given me. For example, I'm going to have to do a lot of research into Le Dragon Noir, figure out what's going on with Osmond, as well as all these others. You know, from Daniela. Daniela has connections all throughout Europe because she's a powerful protester. It's just great to play with them, you know. Jess, Pro, and Sharong, and Lily couldn't be here, but I just love them all and appreciate them taking some time to play a game with us here in Night's Black Agents. See you again next week on Tuesday for Symbaroum. Au revoir.